This is Florida. It's known for its warm waters, beautiful beaches, and of course the occasional alligator. But there's another famous Florida resident that doesn't stick around all year. I'm talking about the manatee, also known as the sea cow. Hi, welcome to this channel. Every year around this time, thousands of manatees head into Florida's coastal waters from the Gulf of Mexico. They migrate in search of warmer waters and delicious seagrass meadows to munch on.
Ow.
The trip can take weeks and cover hundreds of miles, which begs the question, why do they do it? Well, it's all about the food. See, manatees are herbivores. They spend their days looking for plants like seagrass and algae to eat. But as water temperatures cool down in the fall, those plants start to disappear. You see, as a cold water plant, they can't survive in the warm Florida waters, so manatees have to venture out into the Gulf to find them. The good news is that Florida's coastal waters are full of tasty treats like seagrass meadows and beds of algae. And once the water starts warming up again in the spring, those plants start to grow back. That means it's time for the manatees to head home. It's a long journey, though. Manatees usually travel between 20 to 30 miles per hour, which means they could be on the road for days or even weeks. Fortunately, they're pretty good swimmers. While they're not the fastest creatures in the sea, they're definitely not the slowest. Thanks to their paddle-like tails, they can zip through the water with ease. But even with their impressive swimming skills, manatees aren't safe from predators like sharks, especially when they're migrating. When manatees travel in groups, it's easier for predators to spot them, which means they need to be extra cautious. Luckily, most manatees are smart enough to know this. They'll often swim in a zigzag pattern to make it harder for predators to track them. And if a shark does get too close, manatees will release a foul-smelling liquid from glands near their tail to try and scare it off. But even with all these defenses, sometimes manatees get injured or even die during migration. That's why it's so important for us to do our part to protect them. One of the biggest threats to manatees is pollution. As they swim from the Gulf to Florida's coastal waters, they can be exposed to all sorts of harmful stuff, like oil spills, pesticides, and cleaning chemicals. All of that can make them sick and even kill them. That's why it's so important for us to keep our waterways clean. Another major threat is habitat destruction. As more and more people move to Florida, it puts pressure on the seagrass meadows and other coastal habitats that manatees rely on. We can help protect these habitats by supporting organizations that are working to restore them. But despite all these threats, manatees are still around today. Thanks in part to the efforts of organizations like the one that I'm partnering with for this episode. Their team of scientists and educators work hard to rescue, rehabilitate, and release injured manatees. They also work to protect manatee habitats and educate the public about the threats facing these gentle giants. And you can help make a difference too. If you'd like to learn more about manatees and how you can help protect them, head over to the website to make a donation. Your donation will help support their vital work and ensure that manatees can continue to migrate into Florida every year. Thanks for joining me this week. Be sure to come back next time to learn more about one of the amazing animals that calls Florida home. Till then, remember, be excellent to each other.